Yo, what's good? We're back again. Time for the Generation 7 bit of the tier list. Decent amount this time. A little bit more than Generation 6 at least. So let's get started with Rowlet, who, amazing start, is definitely up here somewhere. Rowlet, without a doubt, one of the best first stage starters of all time. Gotta be. I think I would put him right here. Very, very, very good starter. Dartrix, I think, is a pretty decent middle stage starter. Not my favorite by any means, but it's okay. It's okay. I think below tepid. Decidueye, gotta be like right up here somewhere. I think just below Superior. My first Pokemon game was actually Pokemon Moon, and therefore my very, very first starter was Rowlet. So I've got a pretty big attachment to the whole line. I'm a pretty big fan of Rowlet and Decidueye. Pretty big fan. Not quite levels of Snivy and Superior, but still a very, very big fan. Hisuian Decidueye, Rowlet was not my choice in Legends Arceus. That was Hisuian Typhlosion, but I do still like it. I just haven't really gotten much of a chance to use it very much. It's got like one of the most broken signature moves of all time, and I find that pretty funny. I'd probably put it below Noivern. I do like it, I'm just not a huge, huge fan. Oh boy. Litten is a pretty good first stage. I do like Litten. Probably just below Cranidos. Litten is a very solid. Torracat is a really, really, really good middle stage starter. This is like one of the best middle stages, actually. I think below Gourgeist. I think Torracat is very good. Unfortunately, it evolves. Very, very unfortunately, it evolves into this thing. Unbalanced, unfun, bad design, don't like it at all. I am just sick of these starters where they start off on 4 limbs and then go into 2 and look like a person in a furry costume. Yeah, I'm not really big on Incineroar, if I gotta be honest. Popplio, I think, also a pretty good first stage. In between Litten and Rowlet, I'd say. I think just below Roserade. Brionne is okay. Definitely the weakest out of the middle stages. I don't hate it, but I don't really have any strong opinions on it. I'd probably put it below Fennekin. Primarina is a really, really good final stage starter. This thing's grown on me a lot here in the past like year and a half. Pretty big fan of Primarina. Probably not higher than this. I think between Emboar and Aurorus. I do like Primarina. I think it gets too much hate. Pikipek, here we go. Pikipek, definitely my favorite first stage regional bird. Hopefully I'm putting it actually above the rest of them, but it's up here somewhere. I'm a big fan of Pikipek. I think below Minccino. Trumbeak is okay. It's got a bit more going on than a lot of the other regional birds that are just birds. I like the colors on this guy, but it's still nothing crazy. It's just a problem with a lot of middle stage starters, is you just don't really think about them very much. Probably below Meganium. Toucannon, my favorite regional bird. The only one I've ever even used on a team before. Definitely up here. I'm a big, big fan of Toucannon. Skill Link is a really cool ability. Beak Blast is a really cool move. I like its design. I like its shiny. Just an overall a banger Pokemon. I think above Azumarill. Yungoos. I don't really care. Below Makuhita, and I also don't care about Gumshoos. It's got like a cool ability, but it's not a very good ability. The concept is there, but it's not functionally very good at all. But I don't hate it. Below a skull. Grubbin is meh. I think below the masks. Charjabug I think is pretty cool. I like when they try to make the middle stage. This is a very, very unique middle stage and like cocoon stage of a bug, a regional bug. I think Charjabug is really cool. I like that it's mainly a support Pokemon with the ability Battery, which powers up the its partner's Pokemon special attack, or it might just be like attack in general. Attack and special attack, I can't remember. It's a very cool concept. I think below Darmanitan is fine. Charjabug, I also like its design, and its cry is really good too. Oh yeah, Charjabug's pretty good. Vikavolt, really cool design, really cool typing. Annoying evolution method in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, but that got fixed, thankfully. No more magnetic field shenanigans. My issue with Vikavolt, and this applies to like well over half of the Alola Pokédex, it is so stupidly, ridiculously slow. For a Pokemon that is said to dart and fly around at super high speeds, it's got like, what, 45 speed? That's ridiculous. And I've seen people try to defend this like the speed stat. It's actually just a reaction time. They, like Slacking has like 100 base speed. Its whole thing is being lazy. I feel the speed stat is just like completely arbitrary, and they just give it to Pokemon at random, it feels like. I don't understand why Vikavolt is so slow. I don't get it at all. But it is pretty cool, so won't talk it too much. Pretty high up here. I think above Galvantula. I think I like it as a Bug Electric a little more. Crabrawler is neat. Not super interesting, but it's okay. Alright. Zip Strike is fine. It's abominable. Now, I remember saying for Mr. Mime that it might be my most controversial take that I like Mr. Mime. Crabominable might be more controversial because I like Crabominable. I think Ice Fighting is a cool type. I think the design is cool. I know it's ugly, but this is one of the times I think it's ugly in a more charming way, unlike Binacle or Barbaracle, where they're just ugly. I like Crabominable. The typing is cool. The design is cool. I wish it was good. I really do wish this was a good Pokemon, because it's cool. I think Crabominable is very cool. I'm not super high up here. Oh. Yeah, higher up here. Do like it more than these. It's not up here. I think below Scizor is fine. I like Crabominable. I think it gets too much hate. I'll rank this Oricorio. This one's my favorite. But as a whole, Oricorio is a really cool gimmick. Cool ability. I like the form changes. Yeah, I like Oricorio quite a bit. And it can be pretty fun to use if you have the right setup for it, and it can do some pretty decent damage. I think below Clawitzer, but yeah, big fan of Oricorio. Get these up here. Cutiefly, big fan of Cutiefly. I actually got a story. So before the games came out, this is still when I knew like barely anything about the series as a whole because I was just getting into it. Before Sun and Moon came out, I had designed my own Pokemon called Cutiefly. It was a flying fairy type. And it blew my mind when they revealed a Pokemon called Cutiefly. I thought that was cool. So I've got a soft spot for it. I think below Litwick. Ribombee going straight up here. I'm gonna say right now this is without a doubt my favorite fairy type in the game. Nothing's going higher than Ribombee. Big fan of Ribombee. Bug Fairy's a cool type. Bug's one of my favorite types, so it saves it from, even though it's a fairy type. It's fun to use. It's a really good Pokemon because it's so fast and it gets Sticky Web, Moonblast, Quiver Dance. This thing can put in some work. I'm a big fan of Ribombee. I am a big fan of Cutiefly too, but Ribombee's up here. Big fan of Ribombee. Rockruff is cute. But otherwise not super crazy, but I do like it. I like dogs. I'll rank my favorite Lycanroc here, the Dusk form. I'm a big fan of Lycanroc. Mainly the Dusk form, though I think the Midday form is also cool. I'm not huge on the Midnight one though. Don't really care much for the design. I think the werewolf thing is cool, but not huge on it. Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Lycanroc. This specific one, the Dusk form, has Tough Claws as an ability, which is really cool. I like the design. I like that it's a mix of Midday and Midnight. Yeah. Pretty big fan of Lycanroc. I think right here is fine. Wishy-Washy. Wishy-Washy has a really cool gimmick. I'll say that. It has a really cool gimmick, but unfortunately, it doesn't save it because it sucks anyways. Yeah, I wish it was better, because I think the gimmick between like the single form and then the school form is really cool. And you can probably make it work in like Trick Room or something because it's so slow. But even then, it still keeps the low HP stat, so then when it does get to lower HP, it's gonna just go back to this anyways, which is, I think, literally the lowest base stat total of any Pokemon ever. So it's solo Wishy-Washy is. The gimmick is cool. Marini? I do like Marini. I think Marini's cute, and I like that it's like a predator, a Corsola. I like when Pokemon have interactions between different species like that. I think below Carvana. I'm a fan of Marini. Toxapex, I'm also a fan of. I know people like vehemently hate this thing because it's just annoying to fight against, but I in terms of a playthrough specifically, I think it's fun to use, and I like the design. I don't play much, or really any competitive singles, so I don't know exactly what kind of shenanigans it gets up to. I know it got nerfed in Gen 9 in multiple ways, but I imagine it's still probably annoying. But I do quite like Toxapex. I think below... No, above Zygarde. I'm a fan of Toxapex. Mudbray? Mudbray is kind of mid. Don't really care much for it. Both off Egregious. Mudsdale, however, much bigger fan of. Stamina is a cool ability. I like the design. And I also have this story. So, me and my brother would always battle each other on Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon and stuff, right? My brother had a Braviary that had Sky Drop. That's what it's called, Sky Drop. I forgot because the move I don't think's been in a game since Sun and Moon. But yeah, he really liked using that move on Braviary, and he tried to use it on Mudsdale one time, but Mudsdale was too heavy for it to even be used on it. And I still remember that to this day, because I didn't even know that was a thing that was possible in the game. I just thought that was really funny, and yeah, I like Mudsdale. I'm not super huge on it. Probably near the bottom down here. But I do think it's fun to use, mostly because of Stamina. Stamina is a really cool ability. Dupiter. It's okay. I'd probably put it near the top up here. Dupiter's alright. Think below Manectric. I like the design, but it's a little off-putting. Araquanid. I love Araquanid. Oh, where did it just go? Oh, there. I love Araquanid. Definitely going up here. Water Bubble is a sick ability. Doubling the damage of your water moves, halving damage from fire moves, immune to burn. It's crazy. It's also, even though its attack stat's only 70, it can still do some crazy damage with its water moves. And then its stat spread is also really good. Really high special defense, pretty good defense. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Araquanid. It also had a really tough totem battle in Ultra Sun and Moon, and I thought that was cool. Yeah, big fan of Araquanid. Also, Water Bug's a cool type, and I think it's good that we finally got like a proper one with this guy. We actually got two in this gen, but I like Araquanid more rather than just Surskit here when it loses the water type when it evolves into Masquerain. Yeah, big fan of Araquanid. Fomantis is neat little guy. Or below Clamperl. I like him. Lurantis is really cool. Like I said before, Contrary, really cool ability, one of my favorites. So that immediately gets it some points. But its concept is also really cool, because there are these praying mantises that disguise themselves as like leaves and plants and stuff to catch prey. But this is a plant disguising itself as a mantis to catch prey, or hide from predators or whatever. So I like the flip on that, and that's why it's not a bug type and why it's pure grass. I like Pokemon with like cool origins and stuff like that. Probably above Noivern, below Galvantula. I think Lurantis is really fun. Morlul, I like Morlul. Probably definitely one of the best, maybe the best mushroom Pokemon. Oh, what? No. I can't even say the best single-stage mushroom Pokemon. So far, I think it is, but there's definitely one that's better in a couple gens. I do like Morlul quite a bit. Like, I think he's a neat little guy. Shiinotic sucks in battle. I like its design, but yeah, in battle, this thing is awful. There's a bit of fun trivia. I can't remember if it was Gen 7, 8, or 9. One of those gens in the game, Shiinotic was coded in as a mythical Pokemon for some reason. I think because its Japanese name is very similar to Marshadow, if I remember right. So in the coding, I guess they got the two mixed up. So Shiinotic was coded in as a mythical Pokemon, and that's like, that's about the only interesting thing there is to say about Shiinotic, unfortunately. Salazzle is really cool. Fire Poison's a cool type, and yep. I like the design. do like the design. I'll take a little step up. Salazzle. Probably gonna get some weird looks for this one, but Salazzle's up here somewhere. I use it on my very first ever Pokemon team. So I definitely got a soft spot for it. And Fire Poison's a cool type. I think it's fun to use. Corrosion is a cool ability. I wish people weren't so weird about it. Yeah, it's up here, I think above Toucannon. Toucannon was also on my first ever Pokemon team. See, it was Decidueye, Alolan Raichu, Salazzle, Toucannon, Zygarde, specifically 10% Zygarde, and another Pokemon that we'll get to later. Much later. Stuffle. Stuffle is a neat little guy. It's got one of my favorite cries of all time. The cry is so awesome. Yeah, I like Stuffle. Down. Below Suicune and Kabuto. Beware is cool. Normal Fighting is a neat ability. Or type. A neat type. Sorry, I was thinking about its ability, Fluffy. Which is a pretty cool ability. Having the damage from physical moves. Very useful ability. But, I mean, design-wise, just nothing crazy, but I do like it. I think above Abomasnow. Bounsweet is cute. Nothing super interesting, I think. Below the noon. Steenie is also cute. Like just above Bounsweet. I feel about the same towards both of them. Okay, Sarina. I am just like befuddled on what they were thinking designing this thing. Especially compared to Bounsweet and Steenie. Like, sure, I don't hate it, but man, why did they design this thing like that? That's still crazy. I don't hate it, but yeah. Comfey is cool enough. I think it's got a cool ability. Triage, however you say it. Gives priority to all healing moves, which is cool. Very good support Pokemon. But other than that, it's nothing super interesting. Oranguru is very fun to use. I mentioned it all the way back in the first video. It has a really good pairing with Galarian Slowbro. And I always had fun using that. I'd probably put him around here somewhere. Instruct is a really cool move. Really cool move. Being able to make your partner Pokemon, or I guess, I don't know why you'd want to do it on anything else, but your partner Pokemon use the move they just used again. And then its ability, Symbiosis, I think is what it is. Lets it give its item to its partner Pokemon if it gets used up, which can also make for some fun combos. Oranguru is just very fun to use. I think below Whirlipede, but yeah, big fan of Oranguru. Passimian's not as cool. It does have a cool ability with Receiver, where it takes the ability of the Pokemon that faints next to it. But yeah, design's not super cool. There's a banned episode, the anime, I believe, where Ash tries to play football or whatever game Passimian's based on. Tries to play football with a gang of Passimian, and he dresses up in blackface to do it, which is something. Yeah, Wimpod is okay. Not a huge fan. But I don't hate it. above Go-Goat. Golisopod. I don't know why Game Freak hates this thing. It's a badass design. Cool typing. A cool signature move. It's not really its signature move anymore, but it was a signature move with First Impression. But the ability, Emergency Exit, I feel like there was such a clear way, if you want to have it to where it switches out at half health every time, I feel like there's a way to do that without completely ruining any chance of it doing any good. Like, just make it activate at the end of the turn instead of immediately as soon as it takes 50% damage. I feel like that is a very easy solution to that problem. Still probably wouldn't be great, but it would probably be better than what it is now. Because right now, it's like a ball and chain holding it down, that ability. Because it's got, like, good stats, too, if I remember right. But the problem is its ability, holding it back. I do still like it, but yeah, I wish Game Freak would change that in one way or another. Sandygast is mid, not huge on Sandygast. I think between the EMS. Palisand I do like. I like how it's just a goofy sandcastle Pokemon, but it's got like the craziest, darkest dex entries of all time. Maybe not of all time, but it's up there. The entire Alola Pokédex was like that for some reason. I don't know what the Rotom in there was on, but he's got a sick, twisted mind on him. Yeah, one of the dex entries mentions that it shoots the bones of the Pokemon whose life force it's absorbed out at attackers. There's just like, under every Palisand, there's just like a graveyard of bones from its past victims that it can shoot at attackers. That's crazy. That is wild. And really funny that all this comes from a ghost sandcastle. So yeah, this thing's up here. I like Palisand. Pyukumuku is just Wobbuffet if it sucked. Yeah, I don't care about Pyukumuku at all. Type Null. I forget this thing is a legendary very, very often. Yeah. I put it maybe around up here somewhere. Like, the concept is cool, but execution's not great. And it's kind of even worse up there. Kind of even worse with Silvally. I like the design more. I like the gimmick with just being like a discount Arceus. Like, I do like that, but it's man, I wish it was better, because it is a very cool Pokemon. Just sucks. Not to say where to put it though. So I think below Diancie. I do think it's neat, but I wish it was better. Minior, I'll just rank this one because I like this one more. Minior has one of the coolest gimmicks of any Pokemon with shields down, immune to all status effects, but when you get to... It has two different stat spreads. Above half health, it's mostly bulky and slow. And then when it gets to below half health, the shell cracks open and shows the core. And then it gets a bunch of speed and attack and special attack. And I think that's really cool. I think this thing could put in some work. The issue is that Minior's learn set is atrocious. Like, it can't be physical or special, but it's not got very many flying moves at all in general, really. Rock moves, it's got both Power Gem and Rock Slide, so it's covered there. But they just need to give it, like, better, more flying type moves. Because because I think like it has to rely on like Hidden Power or Terra Blast at the moment. I be remembering wrong, but it's very fun to use. Focus Sash, Shell Smash, and go crazy. The gimmicks with the different colors is cool too. It's got like 7 or 8 different colors that it can be. And then the shiny, God, the shiny is one of the best in the series, where it turns completely black, but then all the little speckles that you can kind of see on it there, they just turn all the different colors of the other Minior. Oh, it's so good. So good. Minior is a great Pokemon. Kommo-o. I think they should make it so that Facade just always has like double damage on this guy. That would be cool, because he's technically always sleeping. He technically always has a status condition. I think that should work. I think that would be fair. It needs it anyways. Because at the moment it's pretty boring. Pretty boring. Think about there. Turtonator. Togedemaru, without a doubt, my favorite Pikachu clone. Togedemaru is awesome. Electric Steel's a cool type. I love the design. It's got cool abilities. It's a pretty useful support Pokemon too. I'm a big fan of Togedemaru, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's won the World Championship. If not, I think it may have been like the senior division or something like that. I can't remember. I don't know too much about VGC. All my knowledge on it is very much passing knowledge. But Togedemaru is really cool. I think below Mamoswine. Mimikyu, very cool Pokemon. Disguise is a cool ability. Ghost Fairy is a cool type. I love the design. Love the mystery surrounding it about what it really looks like under the disguise. And another, like Palossand, it's got the most like ridiculous, insane Pokédex entries. One of them describes a scholar who looked under the cloth and saw what was under there, and then went home and died painfully later that night. They specifically added painfully. It's unhinged, and I love it. I love it. I think below Reuniclus. Actually, no, above Reuniclus. Between Reuniclus and Victini. I like Mimikyu. Bruxish. I get it. I know why it looks like this. I completely understand why it looks like this, because the Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua'a also looks like this. Well, not exactly like this. Of course, it's like a very cartoonified, Pokemonified design. I understand why it looks this way. That doesn't mean I have to like it, though. My opinion's definitely gotten better on it over time, but yeah, it's not great. Drampa is interesting, and the only neat thing about Drampa is Berserk as a cool ability. Yeah, between Spearow and Fletchinder. Delmise. This thing is awesome. Ghost Grass, very cool type. 0 misses so far in the Ghost Grass type. Every one of those has been a banger. Delmise is no exception. It's got a really cool archetype of ability. Because Ghost and Grass type, right? But then its ability, Steel Worker, it increases the power of Steel type moves by 50%, basically giving it a 3rd stab, which is awesome. The design is cool. The fact that it's like actually seaweed that's possessing an anchor. That's why it's not part Steel type already, because it's the seaweed possessing an anchor. The design is awesome. I haven't been able to see it myself, but I've seen people say that like it's meant to look like a pirate's face with the seaweed with like teeth or something there. I've never seen that, but if that is the case, that's a very cool aspect of it. And this thing is like It's very rare in Ultra Sun and Moon. You can only get it in one fishing spot on the last island in the game, if I remember right. And I saw someone put it like this on Twitter. This thing is more mythical than most mythical Pokemon. Dhelmise is awesome. Awesome, awesome Pokemon. Jangmo-o is okay. Nothing crazy for the first stage. With the pseudo-legendary. I don't hate it. A little trubbish. Hakamo-o. Very cool. Very cool. I think this one's part dragon. Part fighting now. Dragon fighting. I think this was the first dragon fighting type. Pretty good one. Hakamo-o is cool. It's also got like a very memorable cry. I don't know why I always remember Hakamo-o's cry, but I do. And then Kommo-o. I think Kommo-o is probably the most underrated pseudo-legendary. I'm a pretty big fan of Kommo-o. It's very fun to use. Clangorous Souls, Throat Spray. A very fun combo. Scarlet and Violet did wonders for this thing, even though I don't think it's used too much anymore. But it is very fun. Yeah, I'd probably put it around here somewhere. I think above Seismitoad. Very fun to use. I like that it's a mixed attacker too. I think that works. Most of the time mixed attackers kind of fall flat on the stats, but having an ability that just boosts all of them by one, not ability, a move that boosts all of them by one stage helps attack a lot. And now we're on to the legendaries, which there's quite a few of. So let's try to get through. Tapu Koko is cool. I like that he was pretty involved in the story of the Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon games. Not super heavily, but very cool either way. I like his cry too. I like the whole gimmick with all the Tapus where they have like the shell on their arms or on their body somewhere. They close and look like an animal. Tapu Koko is supposed to be a rooster, I think, some kind of bird. And I think that's pretty cool. Little Tepig. Tapu Lele, I think it's supposed to be a butterfly, if I remember right. Not as big on the design of this one. It also has one of my least favorite abilities in the game with Psychic Surge. Yeah, not huge on it. Tapu Bulu, also not huge on. Less annoying ability, at least. Less annoying in general. Yeah, it's alright. It's a bit better. I don't think I need to explain what animal Tapu Bulu is. And then Tapu Fini, probably my second favorite out of all of them. It was extremely annoying to catch in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. Has Aqua Ring and can just heal itself constantly. Yeah, not huge on that, but I think it has the second best design out of everything, at least. I think below Meowstic. I do like Tapu Fini. Cosmog. Cosmog is neat. I do like that this is the gen where they started making legendaries be able to evolve. First there was Type Null, I didn't mention it back then, but Type Null is a legendary that can evolve into Silvally, which is cool. Cosmog has a cool design. I like that it was an actual like character in the story. I like when they do that, when they make the legendaries like actually characters, so you get attached to them. I like Cosmog. I think I put it above Phanpy. Cosmo I'm not nearly as huge on, because it exists in the story for all of about 10 or 20 minutes, and then it evolves. So yeah, don't really care. The design is cool, but yeah, I mean, I'm not huge on it. Solgaleo, also not huge on. I kind of find it boring, I'm gonna be honest, especially compared to Lunala, which we'll get to in a second. Yeah, I don't find Solgaleo super interesting. Psychic Steel is a good type, but not all that interesting in my opinion. And yeah, not this low. I hate it, but it's about there. Yeah, I'm not even sure what this is supposed to be. We'll get there. Lunala, without doubt, my favorite legendary they've ever made. The design is cool. Really, really cool. The shiny is cool. It's a good Pokemon. Lunala has just got so much going for it, dude. Lunala is great. Lunala is a great, great Pokemon. There's absolutely some bias just because Moon was my first Pokemon game, but I don't really care. I love Lunala. Lunala is great. Nihiligo. If that's how you're supposed to say it. Nihiligo is fine. Oh yeah, we're on Ultra Beast now. Ultra Beast, I forgot to mention, we are on Ultra Beast. Nihiligo about here, I think, somewhere around here. I think it's okay. Not coming out that high. I think between Zweilous and Vespiquen. Buzzwole is really funny. Just a buff mosquito that just does like poses all the time. That's very funny. Bug fighting is also a cool type. I think I put it around here. Between Ammonite and Steelix. Pheromosa, I feel about the same towards. I didn't know this thing was a mixed attacker until like last year. I thought it was like a full-on, very much a physical attacking Pokemon, but no. No. Yeah, I think Pheromosa is cool. I like that it's like ridiculously fast. That's like its whole gimmick, it's just how fast it is. Which is it's neat. It's neat. Xurkitree, really cool design. It's got like 170 something special attack, which is insane, but all of its other stats kind of suck. And its move pool is not great at all. It's cool. The design is cool, but other than that, it's not got a whole lot going for it. Celesteela, definitely the weakest Ultra Beast, and if I say so myself, I'm not particularly fond of it at all. I don't find its design interesting. I think it's annoying to fight against. Yeah, not big on Celesteela. Kartana is probably my favorite Ultra Beast. Mostly entirely because of Pokerogue, because it's a really, really good carry in the endless mode of that. But I do still think it's very cool. Origami, tiny little origami guy that just cuts literally everything and anything. That's what the Pokédex says, it can cut anything. I think that's funny. I think that's a very funny concept for a Pokemon. And I'd probably put it between Togedemaru and Samurott, Hisuian Samurott. Guzzlord, it's a cool design, and I like the Ultra Ruin place in Ultra Sun and Moon, where you can see an alternate version of the Alola region, the main city in the Alola region. It's just like eating the remains of the city, which is really, really cool. I find that really cool, and that's pretty much entirely carrying my opinion on it, because otherwise I don't care. I think that'll put it top here. Guzzlord is cool. Necrozma, also think an S tier legendary. Without the Ultra Sun and Moon games, it would probably be down in like C tier, but with Ultra Sun and Moon, this guy's awesome. Not as big of a fan of if it is Zygarde or Lunala, but I do think it is very, very cool. I'd probably put it above probably just like just below Zygarde. I think Necrozma is very cool. Also has like a million different forms. Three different forms. Magearna. I don't care really. Like the design is neat, but other than that, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I think it's below Glalie. Marshadow. It's hard to say. I don't know if it is my favorite mythical or not. It's like, it's very close between it and Victini. I think I like Marshadow a little more. But yeah, very, very good mythical. Ghost fighting, I think it was the first ghost fighting type. That is such a cool type, and it's just a very fun Pokemon to use. Big fan of Marshadow. Poipole is mid. I don't really care much about Poipole. Below Cherim, Wincherim, and Munchlax. Naganadel, much better. Poison Dragon is a cool type. They'll do everything in their power to avoid a bug dragon type, even though this thing is clearly a bug. Yeah, Naganadel is very fun. Maybe around here somewhere. Just above Hydreigon, I think. Naganadel's cool. Stakataka is also cool. Crazy defensive Pokemon. But you can also run it offensively. That's neat. Pokemon with options like that. Rock Steel is a horrific typing, but if it was anything better, this Pokemon would probably be completely broken. Probably around here. Second attack is cool. I like, mostly carried by the design, if I'm being honest, being made up of a bunch of sentient living bricks. I think that's pretty cool. Blacephalon. Probably on par with Stakataka. It's got a lot of personality, even though it doesn't really have a face. Like a little clown guy. And Mind Blown is a cool signature move, even if it's not very good. It's cool. Zeraora, the last true, like, Alola Pokemon. Zeraora is down here, man. This is their attempt to make another Lucario, another industry plant, and it failed. I'm so glad it failed. I hate this archetype of Pokemon so much. I probably would have given it some leniency if it was an electric fighting type, like it really should have been. I don't know why it wasn't an electric fighting type. It took another 2 generations before we finally got one. But it's not, so yeah, it's down here. I'm not a big fan of Zeraora at all. Okay, and Melton. Melton is an interesting case. I remember when it was first being teased in Pokemon Go. This was years and years and years before I ever even got the game. But yeah, I remember when it was being teased for that, and that was something. I remember hearing about it, but it was only for like a week, and then never heard about it until like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out. Melton is cool. I like the little guy. But pretty much the only interesting thing going on with him was the like hype leading up to him. I mean, I'd probably put him like up here, like above Ditto. And Melmetal, the last Pokemon of Generation 7, is very cool. But probably the single most annoying Pokemon to evolve in the entire series. Because you have to do it in Pokemon Go, there's no other place to do it. You have to catch 400 Meltons, which you can only encounter like a certain amount a day, like maybe 20 or so if you're lucky. I forget how many exactly you can encounter from the little mystery box that you open. You can do that. It might not even be once a day, it might be less than that, I can't remember. But it's obnoxious to evolve Melton into Melmetal, which is a shame, because I think Melmetal is a very cool Pokemon. It's got a good design, it's a good Pokemon, especially with Iron Fist and Double Iron Bash. It's a cool Pokemon, it's a good Pokemon, but it is so obnoxious to evolve that I feel like I cannot place this thing very high. I would be doing a disservice to do that. And then I forgot this exists. Okay, so that'll do it for the main tier list. And now we can move on to the miscellaneous forms. Decent amount of this time around. Starting with the Oricorios. I think my favorite of these is probably the Ghost type one. I'd put it below the Paldean Tauros forms. Second favorite, probably this one. That I don't remember the name of, the Psychic type one. I put there, and then the Fire type below both of them. I feel about the same towards all of them. They're not that different, but that's how I'd rank them. Midday Lycanroc is cool. Probably below the Oricorios. Right up there. And Midnight Lycanroc are really not huge on. I think below these two cast forms. School form Wishy-Washy is really cool. I think above Koopa Unbound. Minior with the shields up just kind of takes away from anything interesting about Minior. I think below the Lycanroc. I'm not entirely sure what this is. This is just them glowing. They glow during their attacks. Like when they use Sunsteel Strike and Moongeist Beam. I don't... it's news to me if these are different forms. So I don't really know why these are on here. Let's put them at the bottom there. Same goes for Marshadow. This is just what it looks like when it attacks. It's hardly a different form. Dawn Wings Necrozma, not huge on, if I gotta be real. It's the part with the Necrozma part of it, it just looks very, very tacky. Very much tacked on, and I feel about the same towards this, so I like Lunala more, so put that higher. Yeah, I'm not huge on either of those. Ultra Necrozma is a much different story and goes right up here. Right there, just below Zen, Galarian, Darmanitan. Ultra Necrozma, the best music in the series, one of the best boss fights in the series, one of the best designs in the series, a very cool typing. It's got so much going for it, it's crazy. It has one of the best attack animations in the series too, one of the best move animations, Light That Burns the Sky, or I think in Japanese it's called Heaven's Scorching Light or something like that. Crazy. They went so hard for this thing only to restrict it to the 3DS and you can't even get it anymore. It's wild. Wild to me. I love Ultra Necrozma. It's awesome. I wish you could still get it. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, moving on. No new Megas this time, and the one Gigantamax we got, for some reason, Gigantamax Melmetal. You can literally only get it from Pokemon Home if you transfer something in from Pokemon Go. Literally the only way to get it. Is it worth it? Yeah. Okay. So that'll do it with for the Gen 7 tier list. Overall, very, very good generation. Most things, I feel like, ranked well above C tier here. Most of the stuff here is just like first stages or middle stages, stuff I don't really think about too often, and very little actually ended up down here. Yeah. Gen 7, maybe my favorite generation of Pokemon. We'll see. There's another one that might be better, but we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, that'll do it with this tier list. Next time, we'll be moving on to Generation 8. Decent amount of Pokemon in there. Yeah, that'll do it, and I will see you in the next video.